Heroes and Legends, Age of Medonia. It had been 1 year since the attack on the and the last hero warrior of Scholastica, Nodoheri, had perished and died in battle, but his sacrifice had saved his family and friends and his race from complete and utter defeat. Seeing now that Lord Medonia had now won the universe once again, this time his family, Carla Medonia, who was from the dimensions, born and raised when Medonia went to the dimensions years and years ago to face off against then and Monica before Medonia's empire fell. He met Carla and had children with him. His children, Teshon and Satitoy, twin, half twins. Teshon was a master of the kicks and leg combat, and Satokoi was a off-handed ninja girl. And the Medonian factions, both new and old, rallied together with their new emperor. Doing his last act of the forbidden knowledge before the tree was destroyed, Medonia sacrificed his God-given immortality as the battle against the destruction of the Yui Empire. He stepped very grave and very dangerous. And that the Medonians and Emaria plan was supercharged to be immortal like Immortal Sea, only for the most elite, like Lord Medonia. Because the battle was so fierce with cans and strong opponents, immortals, and the likes. Medonia being mortal could never survive that battle, but he won. But he sacrificed majority of that new power, the Emaria, and his plan, and the over 1,000 years of waiting to produce, to make him invincible, to bring back the lost tribes, the lost galaxies and their races and species, both intelligent and non-intelligent, back, who had died almost impermanently by the first spin's reign of terror in the early days of the universe. These new rebirth powers and people included the Risi, the Jediya, the Saida, and Bro Bayara, those who were in the same galaxy. The Slide, as you know, was once one of the chief allies of Siegfried Synergen during the single planet era with the Floor Prime and all those back in the Untold Stories. Yeah, so them. And also the Zephyr, the Akota, which was the galaxy of a race of people which Cajun being people and his species originated from. And the Sapetina, and the Karbani. So the Risi and many of these people were originally servants, peoples of the dimensions that have been placed there because their galaxies, their planets were destroyed by the first spin. Now that the galaxies have returned, they were chased out of dimensions because dimensions had to turn back to its original purpose, a place for war, where rival powers from across the universe could duke it out and sell their scores for control of the universe. Now with the dimensions finally vacant, and the peoples of the dimensions return back to individual galaxies, Medonian's new third reign of empire. Well, first it was him, then it was his children, now it's him again, all youthful and almost the same age as his children because of the Emoriah plan. Now control the largest population in the universe, seeing the universe is finally maxed out for the first time in eons. So, if the dimensions turn back to the place of war, Medonia had his next plan, and his advisor, Dick Reed, no, Die Reed, Die Reed, and his plan was simple: to eradicate the King Vaughn massive alliance of Magus and Bashar, the three kingdoms which consisted of the Closet True, the Jedi, and the Bahara. The Bahara. The Bahara. And also to defeat the first spin once and for all. Due to the fact that those galaxies which the first spin had originally destroyed, they gained their demonic powers and their supernatural strong abilities are now revived. Although the demonic species did not revive because they were permanently destroyed, because the people they possessed had returned. The powers the first spin had accumulated all those centuries and all those millennia had strongly diminished. Thus, they were now unable to free themselves from the flames that surrounded the galaxy. Now, King Vaughn, the last self-proclaimed god in the universe, had the power to free the first spin. But he is holding his power, since his power was drained after escaping hell after his last-ditch assistance to the mannequins. And so Medonia decided to race against the clock, to not only defeat his rivals, the gods of truth, who in his first empire, in the very, very first universe, were the ones responsible for diminishing his empire and eventually destroying it, and even to generations of various forces from various planets and sides and galaxies fighting for control of the universe. It spread chaos greatly, and the great leaders of Medonian, from Wanadon, who was then the greatest hero and legend of the universe for defeating both Pendra and Damien back in that time, to the Doctorants, who successfully to the end of the first universe, and the prince became a solid Doctorant and defeated the last opponent, and not to mention the god Warriors era as well, and defeated Delator at the Cause of Truth, and allowed the Medonians to have their vengeance at last against them. And the recent leader, but now passed away, Medel and the El clan, were now reduced to the Starkey clan, Anthony and Leona, being the last two survivors of Medel's forces since everyone else had perished. Clef El died young, in her mid-early 40s, due to overexertion in the last battle against the Yui Empire. The forces of King Vaughn decided to let Penny, the leader of the Closet Troop, have a go at Medonian first, before he sent the other two kingdoms and first himself. So Medonian sent a secret message to the remaining powers in the various galaxy clusters of the Builderon, the Bankeron, and the Insurant. But when the time is right, when the flames will go down surrounding the first spin galaxy of Sibik, all those forces will combine their might and sacrifice themselves for the greater good, to hold back the first spin and eradicate them, freeing the Sibik galaxy from their rule. It was reluctantly agreed, since Medonia brought back the powers, those ancient species, and their planets back. The first spin's power was greatly reduced, and the old powers that remained yearned for the day for vengeance and time for them to attack their enemies who had killed and slaughtered many of their friends, colleagues, and allies during the Second Great War. This, this plan by Medonia was twofold: go to destroy Kukozachuk, and then destroy the Jedi and the Bahara. In order to beat the Bahara properly, Medonia re-established the Chaldean galaxy, which was destroyed by mankind. Yeah, mankind and Shem. The Chaldean galaxy had been revived by Medonia for the sole purpose of keeping the Bahara in check, and the talented tactician Mauricio and his General Yu and his strong warrior princess Alexa Zuma at bay. This Chaldean galaxy was critical and crucial, since now that after the destruction of the mankind, the naturalists who originally held it as well relinquished it in exchange of controlling the former Mannequin galaxy, and so Nation was now the oldest person in the entire universe, and he, along with the Almo clan, were the last leaders of the Naturalists, and and as they had Mannequin galaxy controlled under them, and so the plan was for the Dorians to strike out against Penny, who Penny now had Melan Neville on her side, the last of the dimensional warriors, who was attacked Tyduran, by the way. And so she joined them out of vengeance against the she joined the closet out of vengeance against the Medonians for destroying the dimensions and their forces and their empire that had survived so long and made it to the top. She is furious for the most diverse empire that ever lived in the universe. The Yui Empire, which consists of scholastica, dimensional, and Milky Way forces. Various forces from various tribes and peoples and galaxies and beliefs unite in a single empire that was strong. This was the only empire that ever caused King Vaughn and his ilk to remain dormant. And to remain dormant. And now that they had ample time of rest, while the main old Medonian faction prior to the Mariah plan and the Medonian Armada were now bow weary because of their ongoing fight against the Yui Empire, now had to face fresh troops that they were so fresh they did not even participated in the Second Great War. And so the Medonians had a task on their hands in order to defeat Penny and the Closet Troop. We need true tacticians. But luckily, the forces of the Ayatons, the Batheran, the Boshora, and the Healers had greatly expanded their forces and militaries, in addition to the Mariah plan and the new additions of Medonian himself and his family and their new officers. These sectors of Medonian alone could serve as a separate army to deal with the Closet Troop, them being a very small force. However, they will soon regret underestimating the enemy, for Penny had a secret plan of her own. Sometime during the Closet Troop territories of the dimensions, Penny and Millie Neville walked to a secret old temple. Millie Neville was full of rage and sorrow at the same time. Returned back to her own dimensions, only found an empty heap, a place strictly for battle. Penny raised up her hands in front of the temple and chanted an ancient shrine, an ancient prayer as well. And suddenly the ground shook and the temple was revived, brand new again. An ancient Gotham warriors, immune to acid, which is one of the greatest natural killers of universal species, and many other things, returned in the dozens of hundreds. Nineveh was shocked. She had never seen so much Gotham warriors before. And she asked Penny, "What is this?" And Penny said, with a smirk on her face, "Our trump card. You want vengeance against the Medonians? Then I will need you and your knowledge of these dimensions. You are the key to our victory, the ending their empire. I wish to beat them without the use of the two kingdoms, or King Vaughn." And then Mainville, seeing that Coffin was strong, saw that they had a good chance to destroy them. But she asked a critical question. She asked, "Lady Penny, could we really trust King Vaughn? Are we going to rule the universe by ourselves? Or is he going to be our God, or your God, since he claims to be a God?" And Penny said, "I know King Vaughn long before he was king, but a prince. We are friends. What is better than being a servant of a God, but being a friend of a God, a personal close friend? Do not worry. When we destroy Medonia, we'll enter a new age for the universe. And very soon, our secret weapons will be freed from their prison, and the universe will indeed bow before the king." And so she left Penny, and as the coffin followed Penny, Neville followed suit on the sidelines, reminiscing about her lost friends, Universal Albert, Treasure Rose, and the lost lover, Pastor 50. And she thought about greatly about those that survived, like Big G and Pretty Dell, now subservient to the Bathran and Inverse. She wondered what was going through their minds. How were they faring with the Medonians and other circumstance? How they were together on the top of the very universe, now sank low as mere officers in two rival factions, fighting for control of the universe they once had.